is Mr. Elias Melas. He's going to be talking a little bit more about the GNA and what it is and what we are and what we're a part of. He did mention that a little bit in his introduction. He does really care about each and every one of us, and I really am honored to be able to work this women's mastery with him. He's the founder of this organization in Sacramento. Tracy, Modesto. Am I missing one? I'm missing one. Sunnyvale. I'm sorry, Sunnyvale.
Elizabeth Morrison, our chairperson,
Yes,
she'll be watching the video.
I knew I was missing one though. And he helps support us, whenever we need support. So, I'd like to bring up Elias Melas of the GNA.
Thank you, Kelly. Give Kelly a big round of applause. Give Kelly another big round of applause. I love the purple tonight.
Thank you.
Wow. How's everyone doing tonight? I love a lot of energy. I know this is a women's group, and I feel honored to be here tonight. I wanted to be here so I can share with the ladies the vision of the GNA, and that I can also share with you all that I do support you in the background, and the co-ed side of the GNA supports this as well too. So it's very important. So let's try that one more time. There we've got. How you all doing tonight? I love energy. Like energy? Yeah. She loves energy. So before we get started here, I feel it's really important to recognize, each and every one of you first and foremost, but we have some wonderful leaders in this group, and some people that came a very, very long way. So one by one, I want to introduce them to you. At the Elk Grove, Sacramento area GNA Women's Master, we launched it earlier on this year. We had about 40, 45 ladies there. Yeah, Kimberly did dress me at that event. It was quite interesting. The pictures are on Facebook.
I dressed you as a Christmas thing.
Yeah, it was really nice, and everybody got their camera phones out, and they hit Facebook before the meeting even ended. But I appreciate that. And you know what? I'm okay with that because that's fun.
But you know what? I am the G in GNA because like I've told people, if I like something, I don't randomly like on Facebook. I have to really like it.
Right.
If I don't like you, I don't like you. I wouldn't have done what I did if I didn't care. Everything comes from my heart.
Oh, I was loving every minute of it. It was hilarious. I thought it was one of the funniest things anybody ever did.
Yeah, the Christmas one you brought on yourself.
Well, yeah. We need to get those pictures out there again, too, and we will. But, it's relationships like these that you want to have. Seriously, because what do people see?
Were you there? Do you want to share what you did?
What do people pay attention to? Stuff like that. Go ahead.
Well, he started it. He was on Facebook. It was at night, I think.
Yeah.
And he was talking about one of the freedoms we have in business, especially if you're a home-based business, is you can be typing at home in your underwear.
Yep.
You can run your business in your underwear. And it started this firestorm from people, and I knew it was coming. And it was I knew it was going to go into like boxers versus briefs, and it was just going for hours. So I actually had a personal conversation with somebody on the side, and like, bring it on, buddy, bring it on. So at Christmas, we dressed him up in a pair of Christmassy boxers and some Christmassy suspenders and a Christmassy hat. I think I did it a couple more months for different holidays. We dressed him each with ears and presented at each meeting because he obviously felt the need to be dressed.
And he
put it on.
He was a very good sport about it, I thought.
Well, that as we're coming upon those seasons, we ought to revisit those pictures.
Oh, and we're going to get those out there. But the whole point of this is, and I appreciate someone like Kimberly because what that does is it catches people's attention. What do you want?
Top of mind.
What catches your attention? The average everyday thing,
At 3 o'clock in the morning.
or when somebody does something crazy out of whack, right? What do we naturally pay more attention to, right? And we want to be good people. We don't want to go out there and do something extremely stupid that's going to ruin our reputation just to get attention, because that's the wrong type of attention. But something like that, those done with a lot of class, and I really appreciate it. So give Kimberly another big round of applause. I'm lost for words right now. I'm lost for words. So let me move forward because I know I'm limited on time here, and I want to get to everyone else. And Kimberly, we'll get you back up here towards the end of the meeting as well. No, you'll be back. You're not going anywhere. Let me introduce to you a wonderful lady that I met over 2 years ago who started attending our Tracy co-ed GNA Monthly Mastermind chapter from the very beginning. This wonderful lady actually had no desire to be into leadership. She just wanted to kind of sit there and let things soak in. And I kept telling her, you keep coming to every event. You're an awesome person. And she's a phenomenal baker, too. She can certainly bake. One of these days, we're going to help her maybe start a bakery or something, right? You can be like the female Betty Velastro or something like that, right? The cake boss or cake bossette, however you want to call it, right?
Yeah.
So please welcome to the stage Shannon Edwards. Now you have to come to the stage. Tell us a little bit about, your passion about this, why you're involved with this, what are your future plans for the Women's Mastery or the GNA in general? I'm backing on.
Well, I don't know, this is kind of blindsiding me on that.
That's what we do.
Yeah. My goal for the Token GNA is to get people together and help each other out, whether you're male or female, and really come together as a team. And if we're not a team, it's not going to work. And we got to communicate with each other in order to help each other out. And whether it's giving that person advice, or ordering them products, or just being there for that person, that makes it a team. And for myself, eventually,
Is that real wood, by the way?
It's right now, we're,
It's going to work, yeah.
that's the way. For me, I would like to be able to be self-sufficient where I don't have to rely on government or on others to help me out. I want to be self-sufficient because I want to go to Tahoe. I want to go to the beach. I don't have to worry about my bills.
Amen. Amen.
Yeah, and I want them to travel. I want them to do the things that I want to do and not what someone else does.
Right.
I have not been able to go on vacation in probably 12 years. Because I mean, working in Arizona, trying to find a job, going on unemployment, finding things on disability, not having some money to do the things I want to do. Eventually, I want to start my own animal rescue sanctuary so that if the animals are not adoptable, they can stay at the sanctuary for as long as they want. They're not going to be put down because they're aggressive or some other issue. They have every right to be living.
Right.
Just like people have a right to live.
Right.
And the animals don't have a voice. And they have every right to live in any way, shape, or form. And that's my goal someday. For GNA, that's what I said before, unity, help each other out, and we'll just see.
Hold on a second. I'm not done with you yet. I want to say a few words about you. They will be kind.
Okay.
And I have to personally say, as an example here, Shannon's come a long way in 2 years. You know Shannon. You've known Shannon. Some of you have known Shannon for a little while. And this is not to be said in an offensive way. It's just so people understand how this process works.
Yeah.
When she first came to the GNA, she couldn't say a word.
Yeah, I was quiet, I was shy. I was like, hi.
And tonight, I feel like sitting down. She just took over the whole stage. So, Shannon, thank you so much. And you know what? One of her biggest passions, because I really like to get to know people on a deep level. She's a phenomenal baker from scratch. And one day, if we can help her and we help each other out to make enough money to start her own business, I mean, you'd be a great baker. I mean, you start Shannon Sweets in Tracy or somewhere, right? I mean, wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
And then maybe you could take that money and start a nonprofit, for the animals, right?
You could have a dog bakery.
Yeah, dog day. Yeah, that could be, you can do dog treats at the same time too. Of course, you want to sell the human treats because human treats are really good.
The dogs would probably like them.
I'm not going to eat dog food. I know people who have. I'm not going to go there. But give Shannon a big round of applause. Thank you very much, Shannon. And last but not least, our wonderful host of the Lodi Central Valley area GNA Women's Mastery. This lady, I met her earlier this year in Tracy in February, and I remember the first time that we met, we hit it off. The second time, when you came back the following month, I was wondering if you were going to come back. Because I could tell that, you're a good person, but I didn't know if you got enough value or not. My whole thing is when people come to their first event, I feel like if they don't get enough value, they may or may not come back, right? But she came back the following month. And what really got to me about Kelly was, at the end of that event, and that's when, Shannon, Kelly, and I started, hanging out a little bit more and becoming better, closer friends. After the event, within at 8, and then we do the mixing and mingling until 8:30 or 9, we go to the parking lot. We'd sit in the parking lot, have a 3-hour parking lot one-on-one. It's called the parking lot. We've done those in Sacramento, Kimberly. The parking lot one-on-one. Let me tell you this. And remember, I live in the Bay Area. I live in Redwood City, which is half an hour south of San Francisco, right? So when I'm in Tracy, I have a good hour and 5-hour and 10-minute drive over that dreaded Altamont Pass, which I got a flat tire one of those nights too, and it was terrible. That was a really long night, but it was worth it. And it was after one of those parking lot one-on-ones. But, that says a lot to me because Kelly has a wonderful husband and a child at home. And she's found a way to incorporate it into her life. And she realizes that I know I have a child and a husband, but I also have a vision to get out there. And you have to kind of separate the two and kind of, find ways to make it happen. So by her staying, 3 hours, and we did this month after month. We do it almost every month. We just had the Tracy 2-year anniversary potluck event at Powers Park in Tracy, and we were there talking. Late Kimberly, you were there.
We were there longer. We were out till 1.
Yeah, and we hash things out. That's what we do. We want to hash things out to make things better. Everyone left. I said, I gotta get back. I'm tired. I have a radio interview tomorrow. This and that. But her and I still, stood there till about 12 midnight. And I kept looking over there. I'm looking for cops that are going to come in because the park closes. When the sun goes down, the park closes, and I don't want to deal with Tracy PD. I heard they're not too friendly at times. But they never came, and it was just another wonderful thing. So please welcome Kelly Real back to the stage to say a few words about her GNA experience in a couple minutes because we got to move forward. We got one more. We got one more to announce now.
Can I do my exercise?
You want to do your exercise now? Well, let's do it after the presentation. Okay. Share with us a little bit about your GNA journey so far in a couple of minutes. And
GNA journey.
Yeah. You have one of those, right?
Yeah, but life's a journey, so it just depends on how you look at it.
Okay.
But GNA, I love GNA because it's a part of being genuine, because I feel that that's just really necessary when you're making a connection with somebody, is to make it a genuine connection. Out there in the world, we meet so many people, but how authentic are they really, or how genuine are they really, or do you really know them? When I sat down with the GNA, everybody, was happy to see me. They introduced me. What do you do? Interested about me and who and what I was, not just what I do, but who I was. And I just felt that that's very important, and I really loved the vision that Elias and Shannon and Kimberly and everybody that's involved with the GNA that, really supports that within the individual. Because I've been to other marketing events and, marketing my business and doing other things with BNIs and other things, but I'm just a number on my forehead. You know what I mean? I mean, really, I'm just another life coach. That's what I am.
Yeah,
and,
is this what they do?
Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah, and then I'm left with a bunch of these, and I'm thinking, I'm trying to do one-on-ones, and I'm not really getting anywhere because I really haven't touched base. I don't know what they like. I don't know what they don't like. I don't know anything about them. And do they have kids? Do they not? I don't know anything. And so I'm trying to do, it's kind of like speed dating. Hi. And you can't.
You're married, Kelly.
I'm sorry.
You can't compare it to speed dating anymore.
But it's similar to that, I mean, I've had friends that are like, this is ridiculous. how am I supposed to meet somebody? I mean, and in business, we're just trying to make the connection to people that we know, like, and trust. So how can we know, like, and trust somebody if we just get? That's why I believe in the vision of GNA, because it's more than just you or me. It's about everybody. You know, it's about we. There's no I in team, and I really believe that. You know, it's that if we all work together, we're a huge force that can't be reckoned with. So that's my GNA story.
Wow, I have no follow-up questions after that. Give Kelly a big round of applause. Wow. Thank you. That's why you're the right person for this job, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
I hope so.
We have one more leader in the house. You thought you were going to sneak in here and get past me, huh? That's not. How you doing? I'm good. Thank you very much for coming. This wonderful lady joined our organization last year and has had tremendous success because she's just about as crazier than me, going all over Northern California, running around everywhere like a chicken with her head cut off, just like me. You know, I'm comparing it. And she actually lives in Sonora, which is, you know, in the foothills of the Central Valley area. So it's quite a hike to get into this area. Just getting out of that area alone to get to the valley in itself, those roads are pretty treacherous, right? Especially when it rains. It's starting to rain again now, right? So, had a one-on-one with her last year, got to know her, and got to also, you know, I learned about your culture, which is very similar to mine. Very similar to the Greek culture, right? The Middle Eastern and the Greeks, we are very close. We're very upfront and straightforward, but that's because we love you very much. We love you so much, it probably drives you crazy, right? That's the problem. And then when you come to our house to eat, we feed you till the day you die. If you're full, have some more. Come on, have some more, right? Have another drink, have another whatever, right? But she got so involved with the organization. She started having great success with her business, and helped us grow the organization tremendously last year with a lot of the wonderful people from the Sonora, Tuolumne County, and Calaveras County area. And recently, I don't know if all of you were aware, we announced this last year, and we announce it when we can, and I wish she would mention it more, but she's so humble she won't, but I will. Received a promotion to our Central Valley Area GNA Regional Director. So please welcome your Central Valley Area GNA Regional Director to the stage, Scott Sloor. He's also supporting Kelly and the rest of the people in this group.
Thank you so much.
You got the stage for a few. What you going to do?
My lower back hurts. I have to say.
You want to sit?
No.
Okay.
I had this weird experience. My lower back went out a couple days ago, and it's very unusual for me. It might go out like briefly.
I love the shirt, by the way.
Thank you. I got it at this conference that I went to last weekend.
That's a great shirt.
Yeah, it is. They
Wow.
gave us this free shirt. This is about Legal Shield because we do group benefits and business. So
Embroidery's not cheap. That's some high quality stuff.
They made it really nice.
So anyway,
I just had this really weird thing. My lower back went out, and I couldn't even walk for just like a half an hour here, half an hour there. I'm much better now, but I have to go be on my chiropractor, so I'm a little bit late. But anyway, I love GNA. I love the women's. I'm so thrilled at the Women's Mastery. This is, I have to say, it's my favorite group. The women in these groups are awesome. I've met so many great people. Kimberly, Shannon, Kelly. What I like about GNA, like I said, it's genuine. It isn't just business. I've made friends. I've people that I really care about in and outside of GNA. So I don't know. I just really love it, and I'm hoping that we're going to grow. I know that every chapter, every organization has their ups and downs. But I don't know about anyone else here. I'm not giving up. I always go through the challenges instead of letting them stop me. Just go through them. I'm really excited about our holiday party that's coming up in a few months. That's going to be really awesome. And I'm just looking forward to more expansion. And also the other thing I look at is like if we're not expanding at any given time, that's okay because it's always about quantity. It's also about quality because sometimes you get those individuals that come in and they raise trouble or they have hassle or whatever, and sometimes you just, I would like to do this, but sometimes you have to just let go of the negative to make room for the positive, make room for the quality, and that's what I really like about the people that last in this organization are positive people. So that's what we want to keep more of. So that's it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Give God a big round of applause. And that's got G-A-T pronounced got as in G-O-T, but it's spelled G-A-T. On Facebook, she's got G-A-T, Grateful Slore, because she's so grateful for all the wonderful connections she's made in her life, right? Yep. Another round of applause for Got Slore. Thank you so much. So, another 10 minutes or so, I want to go over the GNA vision and then maybe answer any questions anybody has. And then towards the end of the event, I know we're going to do an exercise, and then at about 7:55, we're going to do upcoming events and announcements, and then we'll talk about the holiday party, which is coming up. And I don't know, how many of you were at the holiday party last year with the GNA?
So much fun.
Okay, if you haven't been to that holiday party, you got to go, right?
It's a lot of fun.
It's a fun event, but it's a productive fun event because the who's who from all over California is there. They have their own network. They're people you need to know, right, Kimberly? They're really good people. And we'll talk more about that towards the end. But right now, I'm going to read this right off my script here. I wrote it, but I don't want to butcher it. The purpose of this group, our GNA Mastery groups will empower Northern California women on all lifestyle aspects, including public speaking. Public speaking! You're pretty good. You just don't know it. You are good.
I am.
Right? Oh, good. I love that.
I know that I'm good. I just
Okay.
I just have to believe it.
Okay. We just made it official right now. That good? And we're going to interview on the radio sometime soon, so you got to get ready for that.
Okay.
Including public speaking, sales and marketing, health, relationships, spirituality, and wealth. So a lot of the, I've heard a lot about what happens at other women's groups. I haven't attended. I actually have been invited to a couple. Some of the, who's been to E-Women network groups? Okay. I actually have been invited to a couple of those. They actually don't have a problem when men come. And a lot of the guys that I've talked to that have gone to those events, they're like, this is like the greatest networking event in the world. It's like, wow, And when I attended my first women's event, we used to run a GNA Women's Mastery in San Jose about 2.5 years ago. A wonderful lady that used to be a part of the GNA. Some of you may know her. Her name is Rosalind Zapata. She's known, a.k.a. the Closer. And she ran that group for about a year or so, and then she got really busy. So she had to focus on her own platform, and it happens. Sometimes over a year or two you have a turn of leaders, which is fine. It happens everywhere. But I went to that event, I'm like, wow, I love networking with women. I mean, this is great. And not for the reasons that most men would think. Don't get me wrong. But it's just, the things you learn by coming to an event like this, even as a man, you can't learn anywhere else. And I'm not saying this, I know I mentioned this at the other launch event, and I know I almost got in trouble with this, but I am a single man, so I need to learn as much as I can, because down the road I do want to find that future partner and, try to be the best person I can be, and kind of balance what I do now with what I want to have for the rest of my life. And it's a balance, right? It's not an easy balance, right? Because when you have a passion to get something done like this, it overpowers everything. Right, Linda? It overpowers everything to the point of where sometimes you neglect other important people in your life that you don't even mean to neglect. It's not purposefully done. It's because when you care so much about the overall best aspect of everyone, sometimes you lose focus on the personal touch, which is most important, right, Kimberly? And we can attest to that one right there, right? And when you have those connections with people, if you don't keep in touch with them every now and then, they wonder, where are you dead? What's happening? Did you just need me for the last 6 months to run that event or to do this or do that, and now you don't need me anymore? No, I'm really, really sorry. You're going to make those mistakes, so we get busy. And between social media and all the events we're doing and everything else we have going on in life, you're going to forget some of those things. When you do forget and somebody calls you out on it professionally, just be nice, be humble. I'm really sorry. Don't be afraid to say, yes.
I didn't say anything.
Is that true?
Laughing.
Yeah.
You're a life coach.
Yes, I am.
You know this better than anybody, right?
I do.
It's not difficult to apologize, but if you're going to apologize, make sure you mean it. Try to do something nice to make it up to that person, The purpose of the group here, primarily the GNA is about helping you move your business forward. We do understand when it comes to Women's Mastery event, some of the women feel a little bit more shy or timid, or they're a little bit more introverted, and they need to step out of their shell before they can actually get on the stage, share more of themselves. Am I speaking your language?
Oh yeah.
Okay. And then step into the spotlight so we can get to know, like, and trust you. That way we can do business with you, right?
Right.
Because here's the problem I have with some people. This is men and women in general. Okay, I have people coming to me all the time and say, "Hey, Elias, I've been coming to your events." First of all, they're not my events; they're GNA events. I just happen to be the founder of the vision, but it's not about me; it's about everybody, right? I've been coming to your events for 6 months and I haven't received one piece of business. Have you done any other events, by the way? Yes, I have, and I haven't received business from them either. Oh, okay, so it's not our events. Okay, so now I already know where this is going, right? And I said, so what do you do at these events? Well, I exchange business cards, and then I send them an email telling them what I do, and they never respond. I'm like, wow, okay, well, have you ever had a coffee one-on-one meeting with this person to get to know them?
Right.
Oh, really? Yeah, really. Have you ever, done something out of your way and not having to do with business? Have you ever offered to help them out with their business in some way, shape, or form? Maybe running an event with them or doing something besides just trying to sell them your business? Oh, I didn't even think about that. And that's part of the issue that I see out there. A lot of people are out there and they don't understand that they're coming off. They're not doing it on purpose. Some do, but some don't. But they're coming off like they're making it all about themselves. The bottom line is this. Okay, let me ask you, Samantha. Right?
Yes.
I'm not going to forget your name.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather do business with somebody that you know, like, and trust, or somebody off of Google that you don't know for the same thing?
No, I'd rather do somebody I know that I can trust.
Right. Why is that?
Because it's comfortable and I know them, I know what they like, and it's not as scary. I mean, if I had to contact them on Google Hangout, that might be easier. I mean, that other person, that might be easier. But it's when it's actually like walking up to them and saying, hey, or if it's me calling them on the phone, that's where I struggle.
Okay.
But yeah, I would, if I have to call somebody I know, I'd be okay.
Okay, so this leads me to my next thing here real quick here. I want to ask the room here, just really, really briefly here. How many of you here consider yourself to be introverted? Honestly. If you're an introvert, raise your hand. 3, that's it? The rest of you are extroverts? If you're an extrovert, raise your hand. Did you raise your hand for either or? Are you like in the middle or
If you
somewhere?
don't raise your hand,
I didn't know. Which one are
Write
you?
it down, you're an introvert.
You're introverted?
Yeah,
Okay, so
But you don't have to be quiet to be introverted.
that's true.
no.
Right.
Keep to yourself.
I'm kind of.
She's
So she raised her hand for both.
you've come a long way. That's pretty impressive. Normally in a group like this, you'll get primarily introverted people. But wow, we have a lot of extroverted people here, and that's great because you can work with us together to help empower the introverted people. I'm going to share a little story with everybody here, if that's okay, about in my younger days. Because I've always been an outgoing kind of guy, but I never was able to do what I do now. So, in my, teens and 20s, I was a little bit more, you wouldn't believe this, Kimberly, but a little bit more on the introverted side. I was always outgoing, but not as crazy as I am today. And I started to realize that, if I want to get somewhere in life, if I have a statement I want to get out there, people, need to feel your passion. They don't want to be pitched something, but they want to feel your passion, they want to feel your love, they want to feel your excitement, they want to feel like they can come up to you and give you a hug. They want to feel like you're approachable, right? Because what's the thing that turns you off the most, Kimberly? Can you notice when somebody's not approachable?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel
When they're not approachable?
when they're not approachable?
It doesn't faze me as much if they're not approachable as opposed to being insincere.
Okay.
I'm completely turned off by that.
Okay, that's a good point. I mean, who here, can sense people that are not approachable? If you go to a networking event and you sense somebody that's not approachable, do you think twice whether you're going to approach them or not, or go more to the outgoing social butterfly that probably knows everyone in the room is going to basically spread the love for you much quicker, right? Where are you going to go, right? So I learned that, the hard way there. I learned that, the more outgoing I am, the more I allow people to see who I am and share more of myself, not making it about me, but just, be an outgoing person and just come up to people, start giving them hugs. I started doing this. High five, right? High five, right? And when I started doing that in my 20s, people are like, dude, you like to high five too much. I'm like, I don't care, I love the high five. That's who I am, right? Right? As I got older, I still high five people through my 30s. Now I'm 40. Okay, I'm getting old. And now I still, God, how many?
That's a relative statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. Look, I'm being honest here.
So high five versus hugging, do some people get, feel like hugging is too much or too personal or something?
It all depends on how comfortable you make them feel, guy.
Right.
Do you feel comfortable giving me a hug?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I share something with that?
Absolutely.
I met somebody, well, I went to it wasn't a networking event, but it was hanging out at somebody's house. There was a bunch of people from networking. And there was a gal there that she did the same business as me, the jockey. And I have never met anybody in that area that's done that business. And so before I got there, somebody said, oh, I want to meet Kimberly, you guys do the same thing. And I walked in, and this lady came at me like a grizzly bear with her arms out.
Yeah.
And because, well, I have my issues anyway, but she came at me and I backed up. And I was like, and I was really nice. I said, I'm sorry, I just walked in the door, I don't know you.
Right.
And she did not once take the time to get to know me. She was really obnoxious and belligerent, and yes, she was drinking lots.
Oh, wow.
But she proceeded to badmouth me to other people, and one of which is a very good friend of mine. And she said, I think Kimberly's intimidated by me because we're competition. And the person goes, number one, Kimberly's not intimidated by you. She doesn't know you. And if she doesn't know you, she's not letting you into her bubble. Number two, you are no competition. You guys do the same thing. You don't compete. You need to learn that to properly network.
Absolutely.
And sadly, for her, I got a ton of business that night because she was so obnoxious. But I'm just really weird about my personal safety, and I'm not real good with strangers coming at me, hugging me. High five I might do if I don't know you, but if I don't know you,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the weird one that I don't take friend requests unless I know you.
Right.
Margaret
Obviously,
Edwards,
after you get to know each other.
she sent me a friend request, and I flat out told her, I said, I'm sorry, I've heard about you, I'd like to meet you, and it took months before we met. Then I took it, and she understood.
Yeah. It's worse when you're dealing on the co-ed side and a man comes up, let alone I understand anybody, male or female, can burst somebody's bubble. But that's a great point that you mentioned there. That's why I give the high five. Because a high five is non-threatening. You might think I'm crazy, but if I'm a guy, I'm coming into a room of ladies I don't know, right? And I know a lot of you, we've kind of, been in touch, but I came in here tonight and I started high-fiving people, and a few people that we've had that connection where we can give each other a hug where it's non-threatening. They're like, okay, yeah, great. And then everyone else sees it, and then they come, I'll give you a hug too. If they're okay with the hug, I'll give you a hug. But I'm not gonna, go into your space unless I'm welcome there. And once I'm there, I'm not gonna take advantage of your space. And I totally appreciate it. That's something, Kelly, maybe that'd be a great topic to talk about later on down the road at the Mastery sometime, huh? What do you think?
Definitely. I mean, when I finished each class of coaching, we all gave each other hugs. We were in a hug circle for like 5 minutes, and people were crying because of the feeling that they felt in the circle. Like we would randomly put somebody in the middle, like someone that needed healing or someone that was having a really bad day, and we would just hug each other, and then the person would just cry.
Yeah.
And it would be like such a place where you didn't want to let go. You like really didn't want to literally let go of each other because it was just so touching. So yeah, I mean, I can understand that, and I can also understand what Kimberly says, because you want to be able to, give somebody the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes it's hard because you really don't know what you're getting yourself into. And it is best to protect yourself. We're women, but as far as the mastery, I want us to get to that point where it's like, we don't want to leave. We really love staying. We want to be able to empower each other. We cry. We're there for each other, That's what it's about.
And then you better pick meetings at Denny's when they're open all night.
Hey, she'll sit in the parking lot with you all night.
Yeah, but that's not always safe.
That's true. That's true.
Don't you think that's kind of a quick read though? Like if you go up to hug somebody, can't you kind of get
right away you get the feel of whether or not they're comfortable with
Well,
it
that's
before
what
it happens.
Well, she wasn't reading the message.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Her energy was.
No, I'm just saying in normal life, if you go to, if you're a hugger and you go to hug somebody, you get that feeling
You
before
can
you
tell
hug,
it tense.
and your hand goes out or
Yeah,
whatever.
I am a hugger. That's what it was, 'cause my friend was just like
But
shocked.
usually you can get the
You
vibe.
get the good feeling. What you got? What you
I was
got?
gonna say,
You got what you got.
I'm a big hugger, but I don't
Yes,
just,
you are.
But I don't just come up to people randomly.
To be you at this point.
Well, now you're not random anymore.
what I usually
I once
do
was
is
random.
At least I build rapport with them, or we spend an evening, and then at the end of it, if I can tell that they're unsure, I'll just say, is it okay if I hug you? And if they say yes, great. If not, that's okay. It doesn't matter.
This is a
You
great
know,
topic.
But that way you can ask. Like, it's fine to ask. And the people that already know, well, that's fine. But I don't just come up and, just do it.
Assume.
Yeah, we have to build some kind of rapport.
You want to hear something funny, ladies? That I like hugging the guys too. Don't get me wrong here. In a friendly way. And Kimberly's seen this in Sacramento. We've got great people out there like James Wade Brooks and Randy Taylor and Bill Moots and other influential people that have been coming around for years, and we've been networking. And we don't give each other a handshake. Hey, dude, how you doing? Like, and we're good friends. But we've also either done business together or we're collaborating on something together. And just I need to wrap this up in about 5 to 7 minutes. And I know we're going over, so I'm going to wrap it up, Kelly, in a few minutes here. But really important here, if you don't do business with somebody in this group or within the entire GNA, okay, should you eliminate that person?
No.
Why not, Linda Ashley, in about 30 seconds or less?
Why eliminate them from the organization?
No, eliminate them
No,
from your life.
Oh, heck no, because you've established a relationship with them. You're in the know, like, and trust with them.
You're in the zone.
Yeah, you're in the zone.
You're in the zone.
Yeah, and you know also when you're know, like, and trust, that a majority of people, if you're confronted with 2 products to purchase, or services for charity to purchase, one is for somebody you don't know, like, and trust, the other one is somebody you know, like, and trust, and even if the price is higher, you'll go with the one that you know, like, and trust.
Right. That's a
So
very,
that's why know, like,
very...
and trust is hugely important.
When you have a personal, you want to help that person. So,
Right.
it's like shopping at the mom and pops instead of shopping at the walk
Right.
store.
I'll let you ladies know, I'm now doing business with people I met 5 years ago from the San Jose Chamber of Commerce, where I started my networking, even longer than that point, maybe 6 years ago or so. So you never eliminate these people. I'm now collaborating with people. For example, I want to mention something real quick here. How many of you know Edwin Edeberry? If you pay attention to our group pages, if you're part of, most of you are part of them already, we do this radio show once per week that I host. And one of my collaborative partners I collaborated with about a year and a half, 2 years ago, Troy Brewer, who's the founder of Discovery County Network. He has the radio station on the internet, and then we just put the content on there. Edwin Edeberry is the Chief Happiness Officer of the I Am Happy Project. He's Mr. Happy Button. He also creates smartphone apps for people, and we're in the middle of making an arrangement on a pay-it-forward thing to help him, and he's going to help us. There's going to be no money exchange there, but it's a mutually beneficial thing. There'll be more information coming soon, but I've known him for about a year and a half, almost 2 years now. And he actually approached me a year and a half, 2 years ago about this. And I was thinking in my head, who is this guy, right? That's what you think first, right? Because I was working hard to build a network, right? And when you're building a network and working hard, you're protective of your network. You're protective of the hard work that you've done. So just like Kimberly says, which I value when you say, okay, you got to be really careful who you let in. Now, you want to welcome everybody, but who you really let in, you've got to really get to know, like, and trust them. And now, Edwin Edberry and I, we're collaborating on this, and we've got something great. We're probably going to have a GNA smartphone app within the next few months or so, which will have links to the radio station that you were talking about. You can just click on and go to, which will be able to push you notifications on the events you want to receive that you opt into. We're not going to hammer your smartphone, okay? But we want to get you the information that you want to get. Because where do you live most of your life on now? One of these, right? I prefer the laptop, but right now, I can't fire it up. But this thing sends me everything to my phone. Now, I can't do radio shows on that and editing and that stuff, but I can do email, I can do Facebook, I can do all that, right? Where do you get your information when you're on the road? You get it on your phone, right? So, if you get a reminder of a women's mastery event, a couple days before or the day of the event, it comes right there, boom, hey, real simple, right? That's what relationships do, folks. So keep a good relationship with everyone that you meet. Okay, a couple of, we wrap this up in like 2 minutes. Go ahead.
I want to add something too, that I think networking has layers. What that means is like, okay, at a given event like this event, there's so many new people you can get to know. I mean, you'll see everyone, but you don't get to really hang out with every person, really get to know them in depth. So that's why the value of coming back, because the next time you can get to meet more people, and it's layers. You may do business right away with some people that you need their services, but down the road, down the road you'll meet other. It's like it's layers. You'll meet other people that you need to work with. So I think that's a value. People that come one time and expect people to do that's like so unrealistic. It's like saying, I took a shower once, I'm done. You know, like, whoa.
This is how smart you are. That was next on my list there.
Taking a shower?
No. I do take one of those.
Take one shower once a month, whether you need it or not.
You're talking about consistency.
Right.
And what God's saying, God says it in a really nice way. I'm going to be nice too, but I'm more straightforward and upfront because that's how we get through to you, right? You know, we've run many launch events before in the past. And I'm sure other groups have, I'm sure you've run some launch events. Everybody comes to a launch event, usually, except tonight. Networking kind of changed a little bit lately, and we're trying to work on that. But for the most part, the most people will come to the launch event, right? And then 2/3 of the group that came, the people that came to the launch event, don't come the next month. And it makes me wonder, why were they here in the first place? Were they here to shove a business card in my face? Right? What good's that going to do? I want to build a relationship with the people, right? And if we're going to grow this group and create a tribe, people need to make a commitment and have consistency. One of the things I like to say is that, you know, some people will say, you know, when you invite them to an event or something, say, I'll pencil you in. I started laughing. Pencil me in? How about you use a marker? A permanent ink marker on that, right? Well, like, oh, because you want to be able to erase it the last day before and schedule something else, right? Right? So, you know, when I hear the pencil me in thing, I'm like, that doesn't work with me. No. You need to make commitment. So if you're going to come to join a group, if you want to get something out of it, how many of you here want to grow your business? Because I know you have. I know you have. Okay? And I know you all have, right? But they've been coming around for quite a while. You know, we've had people that come once or twice, and then they'll message me, like I said, and they'll say, you know, I came to your event a couple times and nobody reached out to me. Who did you reach out to? Seriously. I mean, I would have reached out to you, but I didn't think that, you know, you wanted to be reached out to. You know, I kind of get a sense for people. I said, you're a great person, but well, now if you like, I'd like to have a one-on-one coffee meeting with you. Now that you've messaged me, and let's get to know each other. Okay, I'll get back to you, and then you never hear them again, right? Exactly. So it just makes you wonder, if you want to move your business forward, you got to keep coming back month after month after month. We do know there are some months things happen. People have children, you know, important things happen, medical things happen, okay? The thing that I don't really buy, and whether you come back or not is up to you. We don't force people to come back. But the thing is, a lot of people will just sit there at home and, oh, I'm too tired, or I don't feel like driving tonight, or I've been to 2 events already this week, and okay, well, it's up to you. Are you going to make excuses, or are you going to, you know, come around and allow us to help you move your business forward? So I'll tell you something. The more you get to know me, the more I will help you. The more I see you coming around, I will do things for you out of the kindness of my heart for free, right? Now, if you don't come around, I'll do things for you, but then I'm going to charge you. That's how life works, right? When you collaborate with people, Kimberly, a lot of things you can work with people that can lead the business, but when you're working with those people, it doesn't cost much of anything, right?
Well, it's kind of like you said, where someone will say that they've been coming for 6 months and they haven't gotten anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think we're in agreement. I mean, when it comes to business, we're all tired now. We've all put in a long day, and this is the end of a long day. And if we're here till midnight, it's a really long day. But the point of the matter is, if you really think about it, and things do happen, you know, sometimes we get double booked, or, you know, you really don't feel good. But we've all learned as business